Of course, also got Call Out, who I would like to characterize as the map choices as well. So I think in terms of who it favors.
So not a whole lot of complaining for C9 to do at the moment. They've cleared out a lot of the immediate positions around green stairs. They've got some pressure on the site, and NJR downed as well, finished off by Focal. For the first half of the round, that is a really good first foray into the NAL.
NJR taken out there. Fortunately, his Vulcan canisters will remain. And the Toxic Babe canisters are doing a really good job at the moment of stemming the flow of attackers. Great kill there from Newers. Just takes the head.
Kiba can go out, block out another entrance, will allow J9O to rotate up. Though it's being spotted by Cloud9, Center in the meantime made his way into the site and put the diffuser down successfully. While DZ acquire that advantage, Cloud9 have put them on the back foot when it comes to time. Excellent pop-up. Flicks back around to take the other engagement, but tagged in the process. Now goes back to C9. Playing on the defense. Center holding that diffuser between his legs, trying his best not to expose those feet, as Newers looks for just the slightest bit that will take him down. With a shot found, but still a little time remaining. Cloud9 have put DZ in a difficult spot. J9O will start the defuse, and Newers has to cover. Misses the first shots, and the last one goes down too.
And just deal with Newers. Newers is only out right now. Well, it would have been to either win that engagement, or would have been to use his Scopus shield and try and relocate himself. Although it would have been a less than a favorable position to leave it in.
Gotta say, a lot of really good problem solving from C9 so far. Nade behind the pillar to force a team going up against this veteran talent is quite impressive. Quick speed up of the pace. Another good call, as with that shotgun drop down into the site. And NGR and Kino must react. Information that the attackers are now on the same floor in a flaw. Well, direct line on J9O, stationary for the moment. Could try to land a free fire, but no. C4 and smoke grenades trade places, and neither one gets anything. So it's Center who takes the initiative off the back of it, pinned down one player just outside of the bathroom. Though DZ gaining the initiative in the meantime. Both Fultz and Newers with something to say. That the attack can pull together. Rotating around, defenders taking refuge inside of Ops. Fultz completely prone. Surely this gets missed, but oh no, Fultz pops up. But only takes some damage. He gets the kill for it, doesn't die in the process. And DZ seem to have Cloud9 figured out. As the attack pushes in, the defense swarms around them and swallows them whole.
That's good. Fultz was allowed to retake into Ops, for goodness sake. Like, the Razor Bloom's going off. Kino's got 3 Toxic Babes in his hand. NJR, he's got a couple of Grismots to throw into the party. This isn't going to be an easy execute for Cloud9.
No, a lot of odds to overcome, and now a man disadvantage on top of it. Newers good for 2, making good on that rotation for the beginning of the round. All the attackers on low HP, and Uzi's doing the best with below half. Still upstairs as well, and now it's Eddie all alone. DarkZero just bleeding them.
It's going to throw them into an animation, and it's going to make them vulnerable. As such, we're seeing the stack up right now. Careful and cautious. You've got to go for the plant behind the Monty. Can that be covered from above?
Ooh, and unfortunately it can't. Center ends up picking up the diffuser, and that's a bad indication. The play from Focal down below, hopefully, maybe with that Deathmark tracker. Apply some more vertical pressure, but the time is running out. Center ends up taking a Selma in the face before he takes that step into the site. Bandit finally spotted. What can be found? Ooh, Fultz ends up giving himself away, and Uzi strikes. Center takes that opportunity to move on in. Kino kept at bay by the AK-12. Triple for the ace, but triple for J9O. One on time. DarkZero in the late game.
SSG's going for, DarkZero, excuse me. What DarkZero's going for an immediate game properly and play into those layers.
Yeah, it's clear that DarkZero have...
Ooh, one Candela misses, but I don't think it's going to slow J9O down. Beautifully dodges the C4, and he's straight in.
Oh, here we go. No hesitation whatsoever from DarkZero. The plan works pretty much flawlessly. Candelas go in, they've spotted the backside, smoke canisters, really showing why bringing a Warden when Ying is unbanned is a bit of a necessity. Smoke canisters provide perfect cover, the diffuser goes down, and still it's only somehow a 1-person lead for DarkZero. And with J9O down, there's a way for Cloud9 back in, a very clear way. Center might be able to wrap around and shoot that shield in the back. Kicks also consolidating on this side. The Shimikas go out, all but in the 1v2. Center in a rough spot and finished off. 5-2 now for DarkZero. Two shields present here, though. Montaigne and the Blitz involved. And while it might be quick when it happens, it seemed like the pace will be a little more measured now. Whatever just happened over there. Center taking down Fultz and NJR. Jan, down to the Razor Bloom. Whatever calculated aggression happened at the beginning of round 7. Unfortunately, I think some of the math was done incorrect.
At the moment, and that's crucial information, especially with the man advantage that they've got at the moment. Eddie can afford to be in that drone pretty much permanently.
Ooh. Great utility pull by DarkZero there. Able to move and get that nade kill, but still lose Kino. And I'd hate to be the defender who gets spotted at that angle with a 417 on the opposite side. This is a lot of HP, and Cloud9 will just remain still. Getting a win on basement? Yes, they will.
Generate a little bit of a pinch here. Oh, Kino already in the action. Envy, first to fall, though. Regardless of Warden or those goggles, it isn't enough to keep him alive.
Now the full breadth of the attack surrounds him, and now the defense is pushed further, deeper into the top floor. Unfortunately, running out of ammo gives Eddie the opportunity to get one over on Newers, the opposite side of the sky bridge. That's 50% of the information gathered, and now the attack knows they can enter the site. It's only one player they have to worry about. Center blinded behind the pillar, able to find NJR though, and deal a lot of damage to Kino. Round suddenly becomes very winnable, especially as Eddie might be able to retake the top floor, but pinched behind the column. It'll all fall down to the player up above. Spotted, got the information. Oh, but he switches off just in time. Quick reactions by...
And then you think, well, Solus is left upstairs.
Be somebody who can peer through, but at least at the moment, Jan has used all of his Candelas. And I don't know if he's going to get any much value out of it. Focal instead turns around to Rocket. Jan hops in, then hops back out as the plethora of traps available for C9.
From below now. He needs to get some value, either disrupting a player, forcing them into a line of sight, or just cleanly getting a kill. Because without it, it's going to be very difficult. And he had no idea that Eddie had rotated down green to try and play his own life down there with the TCSG. That gives a very crucial advantage, only briefly, to Cloud9 as Kino moves in for the plant.
Moves in for the plant, and as DarkZero take greater control of the site, it's the Yokais. They do a lot of heavy lifting. Center pops up, and Eddie good for another. For the very briefest of moments, it seemed like DarkZero might snatch this one away, but with pure confidence, Cloud9 or Sard will not be an available option for center. But as he backs up, Flashbang goes out. He ends up swinging around the pillar. Jane, playing so passive, gets the opening pick for DZ.
It was a fairly familiar angle for Kino. He was on the reverse of this yesterday and was able to get himself a ton of kills. But it looks like this time Kickstro is going to fall. Whether he was on the attack or the defense, it doesn't matter. Kino owns the staircase right now.
Kino and the rest of DZ. Newers with that gun to follow up. Looks like it'll be a flawless to end things for DZ unless Eddie can find either one impactless kill or 5 to somehow level things up. Won't happen. DarkZero with their second 7-4 in 2 days.